Hi, Shane Pitzer here, and this is a presentation for PPR 489, Quaker Theology in Context, and the particular week deals with the impact of John Woolman's theology on his social action. I think if you sort of look at John Woolman and who he was, you can't help but think that he was a very conscientious person, in the sense that he saw a direct relationship between the inward and the outward. And I don't think that that was particularly radical, in the sense that he was a product of his time. I mean, he was a third generation Quaker. He was born in the 1720s, and being the product of a third generation North American Quaker community, he would have been influenced by a myriad of writings and epistles and journals of, amongst others, George Fox, and the writings of local American Quakers, as well as the other mystical writings of Thomas à Kempis and some of the ideas of the Age of Enlightenment. Um, John Woolman's theology is particularly strongly related to his beliefs in the apocalypse, not the apocalypse of something dramatic, millennialist, and end time, but something, an experience that is achieved in the current state, and how it relates to his protests and boycotts of particular products, and the sort of machinery of the sort of transatlantic trade, which he saw as hindering people's ability to be able to live successfully in the life of being fulfilled in a relationship with the inward. So there was a link between his apocalyptic ideas and how God intervened in life, and in his work as an itinerant preacher, often traveling on foot as a protest against stagecoaches, and kind of maybe drawing a type between himself and the itinerant preachers earlier in Quaker history, and maybe an analog between him and the sort of itinerant ministry of Jesus Christ. So I think that this kind of idea of John Woolman being a reformer is something you pick up very strongly in the readings, that he was definitely a person outside of the dominant Quaker norm that sort of seemed to be apparent at the time. He was a leading light in speaking out against slavery, and there are numerous accounts of him being particularly sensitive, and his consciousness being particularly pricked by the whole concept of slavery, which he saw as a hindrance to the fulfillment of the bringing of the new apocalyptic eschatological order in 18th century America. Um, as far as comparing him and seeing him in relationship to other leading thinkers, one thinks of John Wesley and his ideas around perfection and sanctification. It seems as though John Woolman also grappled with these ideas of justification and sanctification in very similar ways to what John Wesley did, but I think he kind of articulated it in a different way. He saw the process of justification and sanctification to being simultaneous, whereas John Wesley kind of saw justification as a salvific act as being very different from the process of sanctification. Also, John Woolman's complementary relationship with Anthony Benezet, who was also a leading abolitionist at the time. One can kind of draw similarities and parallels between the two Quaker men in their formulation and reaction to the whole issue and of the transatlantic slave movement, and of course the sort of transatlantic market, which it seems as though Woolman and his fellows were reacting against. So I think that there's a very strong connection between John Woolman's mystical religious experience and how he saw that and how he used it as a tool to advance his social messages and ideas.